On this week's episode of the Red and Gold Report, we're going to be breaking down the Chiefs' win against the Broncos at Arrowhead on New Year's Day. It was a big win, a win that puts us at 13-3, a win that keeps us in the running for the top seed in the AFC. But, just like the win 2 weeks ago against Houston, it was a game we nearly lost, could have lost against a terrible opponent, and a game that leaves Chiefs fans very excited about the playoffs, but also with some real worries. So let's start with the positives here. Who played well? Well, I loved the game rookie defensive end George Karlaftis turned in. Big George came up big. 2 pressures by my count. He also had a tackle for loss, a QB hit, a fumble recovery, and a sack. I loved when the Chiefs took him in the first round of the draft this year, but he started the year slow, right? He only had half a sack in the first 9 games. But get this, right now, he has 5 sacks in the last 6 games. The coaches are using him in a more creative way. They're moving him on both sides of the ball, left and right defensive end, but also to even the defensive tackle. I love it, and he just had a great game. Defensive end Carlos Dunlap also played well. He had a batted pass, those big long arms. He had a few pressures, a quarterback hit, and I had him down for a shared sack in the second quarter, though I don't think that actually made it to the official stat line. Corner L'Jarius Sneed played well in coverage and even, threw in a strangely easy interception on Russell Wilson. Corner Trent McDuffie had a solid day in coverage, a few nice tackles. He also, he only allowed 4 catches for 28 yards. That's fantastic game. And of course, he had the all-important strip sack late in the game on a corner blitz that was so key to the Chiefs' final victory. Over on offense, the standout again was Jerick McKinnon. I mean, the Chiefs' second string running back has looked like a first string wide receiver. He got two touchdowns, 52 yards of receiving over the last 4 weeks. That now puts him, get this, 265 yards receiving and 7 total touchdowns. He actually became, in this game, the first running back in the modern era with a receiving touchdown in 5 straight games. That's just all incredible. He has really been turning it on lately. Also, wide receiver Kadarius Toney led the Chiefs receivers with 71 yards, including some very impressive downfield and intermediate catches. He hauled in all 4 of his targets. And wow, I just think it's underrated how hard it is to step in and contribute when you were traded mid-season. But Kadarius is such a good athlete that he's pulling it off nicely. But the true hero of the game for us was, well, I got to say, Broncos quarterback Russell Wilson. Wilson looked like a backup quarterback for a lot of the game. Outside of a couple nice scrambles and taking advantage of Kansas City turnovers, he just couldn't get his offense going at all. He looked bad, like strangely bad at times, kind of like throwing up balls while he was going to the ground. It was weird. So thank you so much, Russell Wilson, for your New Year's Eve hangover. But that brings us over to the concerns. Look, I know all of Chiefs Kingdom is going to be torn about how to feel coming out of this game, because a win is a win. And it's awesome. We're in the hunt for the first seed in the AFC. That's incredible. But it's kind of hard not to be worried about the playoffs at the same time. I mean, take away just 1 or 2 of Russell Wilson's boneheaded mistakes, and we lose this game. Take away the ref's mistake of calling that offensive pass interference on the Broncos. Yeah, it wasn't pass interference on the Broncos. It just wasn't. It unfairly canceled their only deep throw of the day. Well, we might have lost the game if they would have just been able to retain that catch instead of had it negated by the ref's bad call. We really could have lost this game in several ways. So why? Well, yes, outside of the first drive, the offense just plain was not hitting on all cylinders. The coaches gave up on the run game way too quickly, allowing the Broncos underrated defensive backs to hang back in coverage, and Mahomes was off. He had a pick. He had another interceptable ball. It could have been 2 picks very easily. He missed MVS deep twice. And, going 2 for 9 on third downs didn't really help the offense. But yet again, two of the three ongoing issues that this Chiefs squad has had all season raise their ugly heads. All season long, we have had three problems: more turnovers than takeaways, bad special teams, and poor offensive tackle pass blocking. Okay? Now, I did see the coaches trying to address the third of these problems: a bad offensive tackle play. If you watch the successful opening drive, you saw what they were trying to do. You saw play calls where it was focused on quick, short to intermediate passes. With the Chiefs' offensive tackles giving up the third and fourth most pressures in the entire league, all tackles in the entire league heading into this game, well, quick passes is just what the doctor ordered. So for the most part, the coaches did something to help address one of the big problems that has been faced all season. But the other two ongoing problems were, again, problems. Special teams play was again special for all the wrong reasons. During the first extra point of the game, punter Tommy Townsend, he simply dropped the snap, couldn't get the ball down. He has struggled with just holding the snaps for the kicks way too much this season. And that means we missed yet another extra point chance, and that just keeps happening. Then we fumbled yet another punt return. It's unbelievable how many punt returns we fumbled this year. And that one was in the second quarter. It immediately became a Broncos touchdown. Then we missed a field goal after a great last-second drive at the end of the second quarter. I mean, our special teams, they stink like my baby's diaper pail. I would love to see some accountability take place before this costs us a game in the postseason. I mean, really, someone's got to pay for this. It's terrible, and it's gonna cost us in the postseason if we don't get special teams together. But the other big ongoing issue that raised its head in this game yet again was turnovers. While we finally, had a defensive turnover, we created a defensive turnover, well, the offense went and coughed up the ball twice, meaning we won yet another game this season while actually losing the turnover differential. Okay, so let's be real honest about these problems, okay? Playoff games come down to the wire, right? How many playoff games are won by 40 points? A lot of them are won by a few possessions. And if you're missing 2 field goals a game and you're fumbling a punt return, it's going to be hard to win the playoffs. And those have been consistent issues on special teams all year long. And when it comes to turnovers, sure, maybe you can lose the turnover battle and possibly beat the likes of Houston and Denver. But can you imagine losing the turnover battle and beating the Bills or the Bengals? It's not going to happen. So yeah, I'm really excited that we're 13-3. I'm hoping we're going to get that first seed, home field advantage, first round bye. That would be so amazing and so important. And you know what? I love to see players like McKinnon and McDuffie and Karlaftis coming on so strong late in the season. But man, oh man, these issues that keep popping up, they do worry me. But what do you think? Are you more on the side of being thrilled we won and we're sitting at 13-3? Or are you more on the side of being worried because there are these flaws that keep being exposed by bad teams? Leave me all your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and go Chiefs!